want to talk a little bit of the perspective of being at the US Open as a Black girl in particular. It can be daunting. Us being in the tennis world is not new, and it should not be something that feels brand new to you. You are in the space that you need to be. You are exactly where you need to be. I should see you next year, right? Hi guys, my name is Jordan and welcome back to my YouTube channel. We are on a roll, people. I just feel like I keep busting these videos out and I can't stop, okay? This one's gonna be a quick one though, I promise. I feel like I've been putting out like 30-minute videos over the last couple of videos I've been doing, and as the editor, I'm tired. Girl, shut up. So over the past like 2 weeks or so, I've been doing a lot of traveling, a lot of sightseeing, a lot of just living life and having the best time. I mean, I know you guys saw some of it already because I posted another cinematic vlog of New York. I do have a little bit of the New York ick. Just a little bit. I still have a lot of love for New York, and I will always end up going back there because I have family there, I have friends there, and most importantly, the US Open is there. And that's what today's video is about. A Black girl's guide to the US Open. This is for the girls who are just entering into their tennis era, who are interested in watching different tournaments and things like that, and particularly if you're interested in what goes on at the US Open. If you don't know what the US Open is, that's fine. I will go ahead and explain it for you, girl. The US Open is one of the 4 Grand Slam tournaments that a lot of tennis players end up playing towards the end of August and the beginning of September. It is located in Flushing, Queens, New York in the Billie Jean King Center. There are a number of stadiums, there are a number of activities, there are a number of different places to get food, and most importantly, the honeydeuces. And we're going to get into all of that today. I'm going to tell you guys all the details about how I personally navigated the US Open last year and this year, how you should plan to navigate the US Open this year and the next year, and just an overall recap of my experience at the US Open as a Black girl. It can be a little different. I still want you to go, so I need you to lock in right now, get a pen and paper, go take some notes, and let's get started. So a quick backstory about my history into tennis. I've personally been playing for about 2 years now. I play on and off with my boyfriend. He's the one that actually got me into tennis. I'm very familiar with the rules. I'm very familiar with how the game is played. This time last year, I had not a single clue about any of those things. And I still went and I still had an amazing time. I dressed up, I took pictures, I had the best food, I learned about the game as I went, and everybody there that I ran into was so kind and welcoming. And I also didn't feel as alone as I thought I was, considering that I was a Black girl in a space where there's not a ton of us there, if I'm being completely honest. At least last year, I just felt like there wasn't a ton of us there. I do plan on going to more of the Grand Slam tournaments in my life, but for now, the US Open is the best. A couple months ago, I did go to the Miami Open, which I did post a video about that, which should be like 2 videos ago, about my Miami itinerary for couples. If you haven't watched that already, go ahead and give that a watch. I know it's like the end of the summer, but we need to be planning our trips now for next year so that we know exactly what we're doing and where to go. Go ahead and watch that real quick. I'm just here to share a little bit of my knowledge with you guys so that you can plan ahead of time. Or if you're watching this and you haven't gone to the US Open and it's still going on by the time you watch it, you can go ahead and get your tickets and go, because it is an experience. It is an entire experience. First things first, we need to talk about tickets. You don't need to feel like you need to spend $1,000 on great seats at the US Open. There are a bunch of affordable options when it comes to buying tickets for the US Open. Let's go over the different type of sessions that go on at the US Open. You have your day sessions, which are games that are played during the day, and then you have your night sessions, which are games that are played during the night. There are a number of different stadiums around the Billie Jean King campus. The Arthur Ashe Stadium is the largest stadium. Then you have the grandstand, and then you have your other practice courts other players play on during the day. Editing Jordan here. I don't know why or how I could have possibly done this, but I forgot the Louis Armstrong Stadium is also a stadium at the US Open that has really good games, really good matches, and tends to be very star-studded as well. I don't know why I forgot that, but I'm correcting my wrongs. If you are brand new to the tennis world and if you are brand new to the US Open, go to the day sessions. When you're at the US Open, it's not just about tennis. There's a whole bunch of different activations, games, food, shopping experience. There's a lot to do there. There's a whole bunch of free stuff, giveaways, things like that, and that you want to be there and experience. Day session tickets to the Arthur Ashe Stadium allows you access to Arthur Ashe, Grand Slam, and every other stadium that they have there. That stadium tends to have the most star-studded games when it comes to the type of players that are there, the intensity, just the vibe vibes there are just so high. Last year when I went, I got tickets to the Grandstand Stadium in Arthur Ashe. I got Grandstand tickets during the day, and I got to see Naomi Osaka play. And then I got night session tickets at Arthur Ashe, and I got to see Carlos Alcaraz play. The thing about going at night is that depending on what time the games start, people are going to be closing down things, winding down, and by the time that you're finished with whatever matches that you're going to see, everything's going to be closed. So there's really not a whole bunch of exploring to do. However, the vibes at the night session is amazing. Like, tennis under the lights is a completely different vibe than tennis during the day. There are a couple of different places that you can get your tickets from. You get from Ticketmaster, you can get from StubHub. People are constantly selling their tickets. I would highly recommend that if you are planning to go to a game at the US Open, maybe wait just a little bit before you buy that ticket. I mean, like a day or two before you want to go. Is it risky? Yes. We decided that we wanted to go to one of the sessions during Fan Week, which is the first week of the US Open, and it's generally free to get a grounds pass. The vibes are high, okay? We're just starting off the US Open week on Fan Week. The end of Fan Week was the end of the mixed doubles tournament, which is what we decided to go to. We were courtside, which is insane considering that we originally had seats way up in the 200 section. And the reason we ended up courtside instead of at the 200 section is because we decided to wait the day before we were going to go and buy tickets. I hate to interject, but I'm taking too long to tell this story. When we were first going to the US Open, we saw the courtside seats for $1,000. Every day leading up to us going to the US Open, ticket prices would drop. At some point, courtside seats were $250 per seat. We decided that we were going to snag those. We gave our 200 section seats to somebody else. They had a great time. We had a great time. We were courtside. So in conclusion, I would just say, maybe wait. Maybe not for like the finals match of like the singles round, because those can still be kind of expensive and less likely for you to get tickets. But if you do decide to go to the US Open during Fan Week, which I would highly recommend because again, it's free to get in for the grounds, and you want to go see any of the doubles matches, wait as long as you can to get courtside seats, because it was just... It was a wonderful experience. So that's the story I was trying to tell, but I'm taking too goddamn long to say it. Also, another thing that I want to highlight that I was taking too long to explain: the earlier in the tournament that you buy tickets, the cheaper the tickets are. So if you are going to the maybe first or second rounds in the singles matches, they're going to be a lot less expensive than trying to buy the tickets to the finals men's single match or the finals women's singles match. Like, those are going to go for like over $1,000. You might be able to snag a couple of like nosebleed seats for a good price, but I would recommend, if you do plan on going, maybe try to go during Fan Week, try to go during the mixed doubles tournament as early within the tournament as you can, so that you're not spending $1 million on tickets. It's fun regardless whether or not you go to a finals match or like the first round match. You're gonna have fun regardless. Again, I was just taking too long to explain that, but I was excited about it. I really love the US Open and I could talk about it all day. So yeah, we're gonna keep going. Second thing I want to talk about is getting there and navigation. How you get there is really gonna make or break the rest of your day / evening. So we decided to take a Lyft there. I think it was like maybe $60, but similar to how tickets are gonna be priced, the longer that you wait or the deeper within the tournament you go, probably the more expensive the Lyfts are gonna be. So I would recommend taking the subway directly to the US Open grounds. You can take the 7 train all the way down to Flushing, Queens, and it will drop you off right at the front of the US Open grounds. There's no traffic to worry about, no parking to worry about, no lifts canceling on you, and then you just go back the same way. You take the 7 all the way back to wherever you're coming from. We stayed on the Lower East Side, so we had to get on the orange line and then get on the red line to make sure that we got on the 7. I think you'll be able to navigate from the 7 all the way to the US Open without any problems at all. Less hassle, less traffic, a lot less expensive, and it's a vibe because you get to see the city pass as you get on the subway. Editing Jordan again. I have a little bit more information about how to get to the US Open in the future. I posted a US Open tips and tricks TikTok on my page a couple of days ago, and a lot of people came in and added their own like tips and tricks that maybe like not native New Yorkers would know about. So I'm just gonna put like one thing in here. Something that a lot of people said is don't go to a night session when there's a Mets game going on, because the 7 is gonna be super crowded and it's gonna take a while to get back to where you need to go. If you are gonna go to a night session during a Mets game, they said take I think it's the Long Island Railway. It was another option in the screenshot that I posted before about like our original route. They say that one is a lot quieter and a lot quicker as far as getting people to where they need to be, especially on the nights where there are like other sporting events going on. So that was something that somebody said, which is another option for you to get there, just so that you don't feel like you have to just take 7. If you want to hear more about what people had to say and their own experiences about transportation, go to my page and go to this video that's right here. A lot of people had a lot of good things to say and a lot of those general advice to give on that page, which I thought was really cool. So that's it. Let's get back to it. Okay, let's talk outfits. Tennis is one of the most expensive sports in sports, okay? Not just because of the equipment that you need, the kits that people wear, but the just amount of opulence and luxury and just money that goes into the US Open. And it shows in the way that people dress. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be cute, because you absolutely can be, but you need to also be practical. This was my outfit from last year. Very simple, very cute, very chic, but very on brand for what was going on, where I was going. This is my outfit this year. Also very cute, very chic. I wore heels this time. It was really cute for the pictures, but by the end of the night, I had blisters at the bottoms of my feet, and my boyfriend had to buy me $300 sneakers to go back home. So if you are going to wear heels, make sure that you carry some extra shoes with you. I think for the US Open, you can be a little bit more daring in your outfits. Like, for example, the outfit that I wore this year was way outside of my comfort zone. I think events like that are good for like putting those things into practice and really like finding yourself within your style and really pushing the limits and the boundaries of like what you usually wear to these type of events. Because again, it is the US Open. This is peak chicness. Tiffany & Co. sponsors the trophies for this event. In my opinion, I think it is also a lot more fun to dress up and really push your limits when it comes to your wardrobe, when it comes to your hair, when it comes to your makeup and things like that. Just make sure that you are also dressing somewhat comfortable, because you will be doing a lot of walking as you discover the grounds. And I don't want you to walk around with blisters on your feet and have to spend $300 on a pair of shoes. Now, New York is hot. New York is hot. New York is humid, especially if you're going to a day session. So you want to make sure that you are dressing cool, having something that ventilates. A lot of things that people wear are a lot of different dresses, like tennis dresses, tennis skirts, sneakers, just athleisure wear in general. You can really dress it up, dress it down. You can do whatever you want, but I would really recommend, especially if you plan on going to like the day session, is to dress comfortable. Dress cute, but dress comfortable. Now for my black girls, let's talk a little bit about hair. I would recommend you wear a protective style to the US Open, because New York is hot and New York is humid. So that wash and go that you have set up that is really long and luxurious is going to shrink back up by the time you get off of the 7. I would recommend wearing some braids, wearing some twists, wearing some cornrows to the back. That's really chic. That's really cute. I saw a lot of girls doing that. I would wear something that you can wear a hat with, because the sun will be beating down on you if you go to the day session. Something that keeps your natural hair protected and out of your face and out of the sun, and also out of the humidity, because your hair will shrink. Another thing that you need to make sure is you bring your sunscreen, because again, New York is what? Hot and humid. Thank you. Especially if you are going during the day sessions, you need to make sure your skin is protected. You need to make sure your skin is moisturized. And luckily, when you get to the US Open, there are a whole bunch of skincare brands that are already there doing different activations. You should definitely stop by La Roche-Posay and get some sunscreen. Get a handful of sunscreens, okay? Because it's going to be a long, hot day and you want to make sure that your skin is protected. I'm going to quickly go over food and drinks. And the reason I'm going to quickly go over it is because I have only one recommendation when it comes to the US Open. But the food there can be expensive. I've had food there that was $7 and I've had food there that was $100. The chicken nugget caviar kit that they sell at the US Open, if you have $100, I mean, spend it. The chicken nuggets themselves were like, okay. I would go and get a lobster roll. I forgot the name of the place, but I will put it on. I would also go and get a cheesesteak sandwich and a bacon club. That was really good. I got it in Arthur Ashe Stadium and it was really good. Very filling. But you can easily find different places to eat on TikTok and things like that. Like, there's a lot of different food places there. Very highly renowned, well-known food places that will keep you full during the day. That's a little bit for everybody. They have salads, they have pizza, they have lobster rolls, they have caviar chicken nuggets. Like, they have a little bit of everything for anybody. If I'm being completely honest, I wasn't like too focused on eats there. I was more so focused on the drink, the Grey Goose Honey Deuce. The price tag, however, you need to be wary of. This year was $23 for one Honey Deuce. I'm going to say that it's worth it to try. I would definitely splurge and get at least one and try it and really enjoy it. The funny part about going to the US Open every year is seeing how many Honey Deuces everybody has drank, because those cups are like souvenir cups. So you can stack them on the top of each other and take them with you. And there are people who will have like, maybe 2 or 3 in hand. And then there are people who will have a big old stack walking out both hands of Honey Deuces.
Go, jump.
But yeah, I definitely recommend the honeydews. Out of everything else there, I would recommend getting a honeydews, sipping it courtside, sipping it anywhere that you're sitting, and really just enjoying it, because once it's gone, you're gonna miss it. Also, when it comes to water, I think you can bring in sealed water bottles too to make sure that you're staying hydrated. There are plenty of water bottle stations throughout the stadium, so just keep that in mind as well. Especially if you're gonna be drinking 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 honeydeuces. You need to hydrate, babe. You need to hydrate if that's your deal. Here's a couple of tips and tricks as far as watching the matches as a beginner. Make sure that you have the US Open app downloaded onto your phone. That is where they'll have live scores and live run times of the games and who's playing. That will also help you navigate who's playing in what stadium, so you know exactly where to go. I would recommend that if you are kind of confused on how the game is played, to just follow along on the app. It updates in real time so that you're getting a better idea of who's getting points. And I would also follow along with the crowd. During gameplay, the crowd gets super quiet because, you know, we're super locked in on the tennis matches going on. And then it erupts when something happens, whether that's, you know, someone slices something, there's an out ball or things like that. So I would just kind of pay attention to the ebbs and flows of the crowd. If you do want a little bit of insight on how tennis is scored and things like that, welcome to Tennis 101 with Jordan. So tennis is made up of a game of sets that have points within those sets. Women's games have 3 sets, men's games has 5 sets. So let's talk about a women's game, for example. You have 3 sets. Basically, you have 3 mini games within the larger game of tennis to win. Within that one singular mini game, you have your different points. The pointing goes love, which is 0, 15, 30, 40, deuce, both people have gotten to 40, advantage if somebody goes 40 plus 1, and then game. So in order to win a singular set or one of those mini games of tennis, you need to have 4 points, and you need to also be up by 2. So if I am like 1 point away from you, you need to have at least 2 points ahead of me in order to win that specific set. You need to have 4 points within each of those sets in order to win the game. Whoever has the highest number of sets won is the winner of the game. And honestly, if you don't understand anything that I just said, if you still are looking at the US Open Live app and you're just like, what the heck is going on? Just pay attention to the crowd. The crowd will kind of tell you what's going on by their reactions, their eruptions, and things like that. Just have fun, girl. It's okay. You'll find yourself getting really into it and getting hyped about certain points, about certain techniques and things like that without you even realizing it. So now I want to talk a little bit of the perspective of being at the US Open as a Black girl in particular. It can be daunting, okay? You will get there and you might not see a lot of people who look like you. You might not see a lot of people who sound like you, and that's okay. Tennis already has such a rich history of Black girls and Black excellence because of people like Serena and Venus Williams. We have Coco Golf now. We have Taylor Townsend. We have Naomi Osaka. Us being in the tennis world is not new, and it should not be something that feels brand new to you. I just want to take this as a reminder to let you know that you are in the space that you need to be. You are exactly where you need to be. And honestly, I would try to go watch matches with Black women or women of color so that you can really feel their energy and love they are within the stadium, and really see other people in the crowd that look like you cheer for them as well. Especially if you're going to Arthur Ashe, a Black man who has an entire stadium named after him. We are so rich in our history, and we are so rich in statements that we have made in the tennis world that no glances or lack of people who look like you should steer you away from the tennis world, because it is such a beautiful place to be. And it feels so good to see people of color, to see Black men, to see Black women dominating in yet another sport that we were told that we can't dominate in. And it will really leave you with some inspiration going home. It will leave you with some inspiration going through your life. And for me, it left me with a lot of inspiration to sit here and make this video about my tips and tricks of the US Open, because I was there 2 times in 2 years. I know I belong there, and you do too. You do too. So we're gonna go together. So let's wrap this up and go over a couple of key points that I talked about in this video. I recommend getting ground pass tickets and getting tickets to the Arthur Ashe Stadium, because that allows you access to everything that has going on. You don't need to splurge on tickets. The earlier in the tournament that you go, the cheaper the tickets are. The longer that you wait to buy tickets, the possibility of tickets being cheaper are. And please make sure you are buying tickets through reputable websites so that you're not getting scammed. I would recommend taking the subway to and from the US Open, because it drops you right at the entrance and you can just leave whenever you want without having to wait for a Lyft or Uber. Do not be afraid to put that shit on when you go to the US Open. Cute but functional is the name of the game. And make sure that you are rocking whatever you wear with confidence. Food and drinks, do your research. Get the honeydews. Get the honeydews. Get the honeydews. I don't care if it's $30 next year. Get the honeydews. It's worth it. When it comes to actually watching and understanding the game, I would either do your research before, or I would just go by what the crowd says and go by how the crowd reacts, and you'll end up catching on at some point. So make sure you have the US Open app downloaded so that you are able to see who is playing where and how many points they already have, so that you are not completely lost when it comes to what's going on. And remember, for all of my girls, all of my Black girls, all of my women of color, you belong here. Go have a great time at the US Open. It is an amazing experience, and once you go once, you are guaranteed to want to go again. Hopefully this advice helps you in the future, and if anything, it's just the push that you need to go and live your best life being a little tennis girl. The entire sport in general is so much fun. It's so welcoming. It's so invigorating, and it really personally has given me so much more life. I'm wishing that on you as well. So I should see you next year, right? I'm gonna be back on here next year talking about how I'm planning to go, and you need to be on here too, right? Like, we're going together. Period. Okay. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.